I looked at Dylan at 7:15. Nice weather, quiet room, empty chairs. And I said, I don't think we're getting a game tonight. Then two players walked in, then two more, then two more. And at 7:29, cards were in the air. I was wrong. Lovely day, poker enthusiast. Welcome back to Sal Scoop, episode 335. And boys, it is Toonie Tuesday. But before we get there, we have 2 days of action to talk about. And today's scoop starts with one simple fact. I thought Monday was dead. I really did. Nice weather, quiet room, dealer ready, me standing there like I had the whole room figured out. And then the room did what the room does. It proved me wrong. And honestly, that is the best kind of wrong.
Oh, buddy, you were confident too. You had that face on. The old pack it up boys, the sun came out. Everyone forgot poker exists. Look.
That was exactly the feeling.
In Newfoundland, nice weather is not weather. It's an emergency. Someone sees blue sky and suddenly the whole province is outside pretending they enjoy walking.
You're not wrong.
A man could be halfway into a tournament, look out the window, see one beam of sunshine, and say, sorry boys, gotta go stand near the barbecue.
That is painfully accurate. And that is why I had low expectations. It was Monday. It was the 5:50 big game satellite. The weather was nice. And at 7:15, I looked at Dylan and the dealer and I said, I don't think we're going to get a game going. Not dramatic, not negative, just what it looked like. The room looked quiet, chairs looked empty. The night looked like one of those nights where you post a game, show up, wait, and then say, well, we tried. But then two players walked in, then two more, then two more. And all of a sudden, players were seated. Chips were out, cards were ready, and we started at 7:29. 7:29, not 7:45, not 8:03, not we'll wait 5 more minutes. 7:29. That might be the first time in Sal's Room history that a tournament started early, enough to confuse everybody involved.
Starting on time in poker is suspicious. That's how you know something weird is going on.
It felt illegal.
Poker players don't show up on time. They arrive in chapters. First chapter, one guy walks in and says, anybody here yet? Second chapter, two more show up and ask, are we playing? Third chapter, somebody comes in late with coffee like he owns the building.
And that happened too, because after we started, 3 more people walked in late. Of course they did, because it is still poker. We're not living in a fantasy land. But the game fired, and not only did it fire, we had a full table battling it out. And just like last week, another family duo did the damage. Nathan Penney and his aunt Connie. And apparently the secret weapon was not strategy. It was not patience. It was not table image. It was a story about playing 7 deuce against each other all in a previous cash game. And I swear, it stunned the table, or spooked them, or both. Because after that, Nathan and Connie started steamrolling.
That would spook me too. You sit down with people, they tell you they were all in against each other with 7 deuce. And now what are you supposed to do with that info?
Exactly.
You can't put them on a range. There is no range. There's only vibes, family history, and bad decisions with confidence.
That is the Penney family chart.
Solver opens the hand, sees Aunt Connie, sees 7 deuce, and just shuts itself off.
Good luck, boys. Figure it out yourselves. But in the end, Nathan, Penney, and Aunt Connie took the top prizes. 1 550 seat and 400 cash. Now, there's been some debate about who the official winner was, but I've been warned clearly, firmly, and with enough seriousness that I'm not testing it, that Connie is to be labeled the winner. So let the record show Connie won. Connie is the winner. Connie gets the seat. Connie gets the glory. Nathan gets $400. And Nathan also gets the privilege of being related to the winner. Congratulations, Connie. Congratulations, Nathan. And congratulations to Sal Room for making me look foolish in the best possible way.
Smart man. Never argue with Aunt Connie.
No, sir.
You argue with Aunt Connie, next thing you know, you're out of the tournament, out of the room, and somehow down to 2 desserts at Christmas.
That is too real. And that was Monday's live story. A game I thought might not fire started at 7:29. Filled after late arrivals, and turned into a full table battle. The room looked dead, the room came alive, and I was wrong. But before Monday, we had Sunday, and Sunday at Sal's room was the 3K added game. 38 players, a fun-filled day. And when I say fun-filled, I mean Mike had the kind of fun only Mike can have. Because Mike's highlight was not winning the tournament, it was not building a massive stack, it was not making some heroic run. Mike's highlight was the beat he gave LD. A 2-outer. It tilted LD, and it made Mike's day. That is pure villain joy.
That is not poker happiness. That is Bayman supervillain happiness.
It really is.
Mike didn't need the trophy. Mike didn't need the money. Mike just needed LD to look across the table like his whole week was ruined.
And from Mike himself, I pissed away my chips having too much fun. Crying, laughing, fun game. 2 out at LD. He was pissed. Made my day. That is not a tournament recap. That is a confession.
That man donated chips to the comedy fund.
He absolutely did.
Some players chase profit. Some players chase glory. Mike chased the exact facial expression LD made when the river hit.
And apparently he found it. But while Mike was out there creating emotional damage for entertainment, Raymond MacDonald was doing the opposite. Raymond had a massive stack, and Raymond drew the hard no chop line in the sand. No chops, no deals, no mercy. And when Raymond drew that line, even Linda Lamb was defenseless against it. And boys, if Linda Lamb can't move in the line is not moving.
That is how you know the stack was serious. Linda has negotiated harder situations than that before breakfast.
Exactly.
If Linda couldn't get a chop through, Raymond must have had every chip in the room. 2 racks from the cash game, and possibly the dealer button under protection.
Raymond had the stack, Raymond had the leverage, and Raymond said no chop. Brian Fagan took third, Linda Lamb bagged second, and Raymond MacDonald scooped the win and 2,200 for the glory. That is a proper Sunday story. Mike tilted LD, Raymond said no chop, Linda battled, Brian finished third, and the room gave us another one of those days where the result sheet tells you what happened, but the people tell you why it mattered. Online Sunday had plenty going on too. The Sunday Micro Millions had 16 players and 20 re-entries. Samara 37 scooped the win. The Facebook subscribers game was for a 60 seat. Wild Hog got it done. The daily free buy SummerSlam Step 1 had 23 entries and 1 re-entry. Ninja 10 Jack and JE for the win scooped the ticket. Then the SummerSlam Step 2 had 25 entries. 5 tickets went out to Wild Hog, Frosty Buds, Fucking Phil, Iceman, and Justin Possible. Yeah, I said fucking Phil. Everybody remained calm.
Breaking news. Phil advanced in the poker tournament and the internet stayed online.
Barely.
The server probably saw your name and said, "Is this allowed?"
Fair question. Then the 850 game satellite had 12 entries. Not enough for the 850 seat, so there was a 660 prize up top. It came down to All-In 10 Jack and Bernard Mac, and they agreed to chop it, 330 each.
Raymond just felt a disturbance in the force.
Somewhere he whispered, no chop.
He doesn't even know why he's mad. He just knows someone agreed to something.
The Flop and Pop had 26 entries. Third went to Iceman for 56.90. Second went to Ty Rye for 75.88. And scooping the win for 102.22 was Randalorian. Then the SummerSlam Step 3 had 5 players battling for the Step 4 ticket. And in the end, Frosty Bud scooped the win. So Sunday Online was active. Sunday Live was fun. Mike was laughing. LD was tilted. Raymond was not chopping. And the whole day had that Sal's room flavor. A little chaos, a little pride, a little pain, and somebody somewhere saying, how did he hit that card? Now, Monday Online was slower, and that happened. Not every online night is going to explode. The daily free buy had 18 players and 3 re-entries. Ninja 10 Jack and Bay Guy took the tickets. Ninja 10 Jack again, because apparently Ninja 10 Jack has a cot set up inside the result sheet.
At this point, save ink. Print the ticket with Ninja already on it.
Just leave a blank space for the second name. Phil's Deep Stack Thrills had 33 entries. Tyrite took 4th for 15.27. Trainer took 3rd for 20.36. Runner-up was CS Merck for 27.15. And scooping the win for 36.22 was Bay Guy. So yeah, Monday online was slow, but Monday Live gave us the story. And that is the point today. The best story was not the biggest number, was not the biggest prize, was not even the biggest game. It was that tiny little moment at 7:15 when I thought I knew. And then 7:29, I didn't. The room had other plans.
That is the whole lesson. You can post the schedule, you can watch the clock, you can count the chairs, you can study the weather. And then the room says, thanks for your opinion, buddy.
Exactly.
The room does not care about your prediction. The room has its own bad Wi-Fi, its own weird timing, and its own Aunt Connie.
Every room needs an Aunt Connie.
That should be on a plaque somewhere.
It probably will be now. But you were right. Sometimes I forget that. When you are around the games every day, posting them, tracking them, talking about them, watching what fills, watching what fades, you start thinking you understand the pattern. And sometimes you do, but not always. Because people are people. Poker players are poker players. And Sal's room is Sal's room. You can't always predict it. You can only give the people the place to show up. And sometimes, right when you think they won't, they do. And I'll be honest, that hit me a little different right now. Because we are getting deeper into Season 7. The room behind me is not going to look like this forever. The move is getting closer. The end of this season is out there now. And yes, when Season 7 wraps up, I'm going to be taking a few weeks off before Season 8. Not yet. We're not there today, but it is coming. And that makes these little reminders matter more. The quiet nights, the weird starts, the unexpected games, the moments where I think I know, and the room proves me wrong. Because soon enough, this version of the studio becomes part of the story too. So when the room comes alive, I am trying to notice it.
Look at you, getting sentimental before the moving boxes even attack you.
They are already lurking.
One day soon, you'll be trying to film a scoop between a tripod, a stack of poker chips, and a box marked miscellaneous wires I refuse to throw away.
That box is sacred.
Every man has one. Nobody knows what's in it. Nobody's allowed to touch it.
There are cables in there older than some poker players.
And you'll still say, I might need that.
Because I might.
You won't.
Moving on, tonight live at Sal's room is the Turbulent Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. It's $60 buy-in with $40 rebuys for 1 hour and a $20 add-on. And after Monday, I'm not predicting anything. I'm not standing there at 7:15 saying I don't think this will fire. No, sir. Tonight I'm saying I know nothing, Buzz.
Finally, personal growth.
Episode 335. Phil learns not to trust Phil.
Spoke long enough.
Fair. So if you are planning to play tonight, get in. Turbulent Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. 60 buy-in, 40 rebuys, 20 add-on. Do not wait for my confidence level before making your decision. Because clearly, I can be wrong. And sometimes, being wrong is the whole story. Online tonight is loaded too. At 4 p.m., the daily free buy. 6 p.m. is next week's SummerSlam Step 2. At 7 p.m. is the Toonie Tuesday. Also at 7 p.m., the SummerSlam Step 4 satellite to the 400 buy-in game on September 15th. 8 p.m. is the 550 and 850 Step 2s. 8:30, the Flop and Pop. 9 p.m., the SummerSlam Step 3. Also at 9, Phil's Deep Stack Thrills. 10 p.m., the Last Dash for Cash. So yes, it is Toonie Tuesday, but it is also Turbulent Tuesday. It is SummerSlam Ladder Night. It is Step 4 Night. It is Flop and Pop Night. It is Deep Stack Thrills Night. And it is one of those nights where you just say, I'll just play one. And then 4 hours later, you're in 3 tournaments, a satellite, and explaining to someone upstairs that technically you are being economical.
Never say that.
Never.
Poker math does not translate in the kitchen.
It really doesn't.
At the table, $20 is a tactical add-on. At home, $20 is, I thought you said this was free.
That is a dangerous conversation.
That's why satellites exist. Not for bankroll, for household diplomacy.
That might be the most useful poker lesson we've ever given. So that is the scoop. Sunday at Sal's room, the 3K at a game brought 38 pairs. Mike, 2 out at LD, tilted him and called that a successful day. Brian Fagan took third. Linda Lamb took second. Raymond MacDonald said no chop, held the line, and scooped 2200 for the win. Sunday online, Samara 37 won the Micro Millions. Wild Hog won the Facebook subscribers 60 seat. Ninja 10 Jack and JE for the win took the Step 1 ticket. Wild Hog, Frosty Buds, myself, Iceman, and Justin Possible moved through to Step 2. All in 10 Jack and Bernard Mac chopped the 850 satellite prize for $330 each. Randalorian won the Flop and Pop, and Frosty Buds took the Step 3 ticket. Monday live, I thought the game might not fired. Then it started at 7:29. 3 more walked in late. A full table battle. Nathan, Penney, and Aunt Connie did the damage. And for the record, clearly, officially, carefully, and for my own safety, Connie is the winner.
Say it once more.
Connie won.
Good. Nobody gets hurt.
Monday online, Ninja 10 Jack and Bay Guy took the free buy tickets, and Bay Guy scooped the Phil's deep stack grills. But the real story today is that sometimes you think the room is quiet, sometimes you think the weather won, sometimes you look at the clock, look at the chairs, look at the dealer, and think, I know where this is going. Then 2 players walk in, then 2 more, then 2 more, and suddenly the game is alive. I was wrong, and I'm glad I was.
Because being wrong gave you a better scoop.
It really did. So tonight, Turbulent Tuesday live at Sal's room. Toonie Tuesday online. SummerSlam steps rolling. Step 4 satellite to the September 15th 400 game. And whatever the room decides, we will talk about it tomorrow. Thanks for watching. See you on the felt, and run good, you legend.